What's happening, pal? I am Mark Goodwin, and for this edition of my What's Happening, Pal podcast, I have got Shan Hughes with me. Thanks for joining me, Shan.
Thanks for having me, Mark.
Absolutely. Shan is the Economic Development Administrator.
Absolutely.
I wanted to call you Director.
You can call me wherever you want to call me, Mark.
We'll go with Shan for now.
Just don't call me late for dinner.
I've never heard that. So, Shan, I think your position is relatively new to Powell, right?
Yeah, it's 1 year and 2 months now as a position and for me being here. So
Right.
both.
Right.
Yeah.
And you've been really busy as well. I've heard a lot of good things about the work you've been doing.
That's good.
So tell me a little bit about that position and its purpose and what it does for Powell.
Yeah, so the position is a result of a study that was conducted in 2023, early in 2023, by a firm in New York called Camoin and Associates.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, they were putting together an economic development plan for the village, or city rather, sorry now. And I think that was something they'd never done before. They never
Right.
kind of looked at that being a function of city government. And they had the Community Improvement Corporation, which is now the Powell Development Corporation, which is kind of like the entity that the city created that was supposed to be doing economic development. But, pretty much like anything in life, there's a lot of difference between having a group of volunteers trying to do something than having
Right.
professional staffing. So, I think that the Camoin group, they saw that the city was trying really hard. They put this model together. However, they really needed somebody that could carry on the activities and serve the businesses on a daily basis. So it made that suggestion as part of that plan to create the position to grow the Powell Development Corporation, and then here I am today. Came down here from the city of Delaware and joined this fine city.
So you were in a similar role at Delaware?
I was the economic development director for almost 11 years in the city of Delaware.
Okay, 11 years. Okay. So what sort of things are you working on?
Well, the biggest thing we're working on right now is really, for lack of a better term, downtown revitalization.
Yeah.
To me, the one thing that has been a consistent in my career, especially for communities of this size, is that your downtown is the nucleus of your economy. If you can make your downtown fire on all cylinders, that kind of spreads itself out into the rest of your economy.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of things outside of downtown that make Powell great. There's a lot of growth areas that we are working on, so we don't spend all of our time on downtown, but we do spend a great deal of effort down here because I really feel with the assets and the opportunities that the city of Powell has, with the zoo and
Sure.
and Polaris being on the other side, 2 million people one direction, 10 million the other. That if we can get those people in here, the people that are visiting those two organizations, institutions, get them in here and have them spending money here, then everybody flourishes.
Yeah.
And we haven't really had a great chance to do that up until now.
Yeah. So is that what attracted you to the position? So if you were in Delaware, then I assume you're probably pretty familiar with Powell, right?
Yeah,
You
I live right outside of Powell. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So I would think maybe, is that sort of what attracted you to the position when it became available?
Yeah, I mean, I think starting from a blank slate, creating the position, creating the department, well, obviously, I think as time goes, be able to grow the department, add staffing and whatnot, grow the PDC. The PDC would probably be the entity actually adding that staffing. But yeah, I mean, I've always had a passion for helping and growing small businesses, and that's typically what you find at a downtown.
Yeah. And you've got a Chamber of Commerce background too, so that kind of goes hand in hand
former
with
chamber
that, doesn't
director, exactly.
Okay. So what kind of things, when you're looking at downtown Powell, and I know it was new, you looked at it, you thought, you know what, I want to get going with, I'm sure you came with some ideas. So what are the things that you're thinking about?
I saw lots of opportunity, but I also saw lots of issues we'd have to work through. And we just had a meeting this morning with building property owners, with Pizzuti Solutions, which is the entity we've hired to actually put together a vision plan for Village Green and the downtown as a whole. And one of the things I mentioned in that, quite honestly, is a big challenge that we have here. And this is not your traditional downtown. This isn't Chillicothe or even Delaware or Westerville, where you have a bunch of brick buildings that are right on top of each other in a row, right? This started out more as a village. So, the downtown served a lot of different purposes back then. It was your quintessential mixed use development. You had people living down here. You had your houses right on the street, right on your main drag, which is very unusual again
which are now business fronts in a lot of cases.
Exactly. But and that's a beautiful thing that those buildings were able to be reutilized. However, what it did create, I'm not a planner by practice or trade or education, but I learned a lot from my planning people through the years. And the one thing they'll say is what you have is empty teeth. So you have a building, you have an empty space, you have a building, an empty space.
Okay.
And what that creates is a sense of inconsistency in your activity throughout the downtown. So, this is not a downtown where people are like seeing that there's all this activity outside. So I always tell people that if people see others outside and enjoying themselves, laughing, drinking, smiling, having fun with their friends, they want to stop their car, they want to get out, they want to join that fun. So any chance we can to fill in those empty teeth, if you will, it'll continue to spur more foot traffic and more activity in the downtown.
Yeah. And are there any plans in the making that might help do that?
Yeah, I mean, I foresee that with our Facade grant program, especially, right now we're spending the Facade grant on projects that benefit a lot of the buildings and whatnot downtown. And they also are building activity centers. There's one just next door to your building right here that, we helped that owner build a very large patio space, and patios are fantastic for filling those gaps, right? Especially when they're right out on the main street. That's where people are sitting there, they're enjoying their adult beverages, music, lighting, all those things that attract people. We did 2 more patio projects this year that we funded, one for a coffee shop downtown, the other one for another restaurant that, if they can again activate those dead spaces and create more liveliness, that'll help them, it'll help their neighbors, kind of pulls everything together.
So if I have one, actually I'm sitting in one of these buildings with the type of space you're talking about. So if I thought I wanted to do an outdoor patio sort of thing, what's my next step?
That's just having a conversation with me about what you want to do, a quick application. I make an appeal to the Powell Development Corporation board, and typically in one meeting they say yay or nay, and then we move you forward to an actual grant agreement, and you do the things you say you're going to do, and give me your receipts. Just as simple as that.
Gotcha.
Not a lot of red tape.
All right. So it's financial assistance. Once my plans would be approved and all, you can help me out in that way.
Yep. It's a grant of up to a maximum of $25,000 per project, or 50% of the project cost, whichever's the lowest amount.
Okay. And you briefly mentioned the Village Green and the Pizzuti group. I think that's been a topic the past year. I've heard kicked around a little bit. Tell me a little bit about that.
So, I mean, this is really an opportunity for the residents, businesses, and property owners in Powell to shape their downtown. You don't really get this opportunity very often in your life or in the life of a community, because a lot of downtowns, again, they're built out, right?
Yeah. And that's 13 acres maybe?
Got close to 13 acres, 12.6, something of that nature. But you also have other large spaces. You have 10 acres on the northeast quadrant that could be available soon. We have over 3 acres on the southeast quadrant. So again, I think this is a way for those 3 groups, the residents, the building owners, the business owners, to say, you know what, this is what we want our downtown to be someday, and give us the blueprint for getting there. And we start with the Village Green as being the nucleus of that downtown because it is such a large piece of property
Mm-hmm.
that whatever we build there, and that includes infrastructure, impacts the rest of the downtown in a positive way that allows those other quadrants of the downtown to flourish.
Mm-hmm. So are you considering a mixed use of that space, residential, commercial, or is that still being fleshed out, or what?
Totally being fleshed out. There's no preconceived notions. Again, we're taking the data in as it comes from those groups. There's lots of ways for people to participate. There's the online survey that people would have gotten here recently. Like a mailer went out that actually took them to that online survey, but there's also emails and whatnot that are, and it's on the website. But that's the easiest way to participate.
And what is the website?
It's the City of Powell's website.
Okay.
It's cityofpowell.us.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a section on there that talks about this vision plan process for downtown, and then allows them to access the survey.
I like that. So we do have an opportunity to participate and maybe do a survey and give some opinion.
Yep.
Okay.
There's a community group, focus group that's coming up here. Can't remember the actual date, but it's in the next month that residents can actually come out. Well, residents, building and property owners and business owners can come out and give their feedback in person. City council chambers has very large boards that are set up with all the information we've gotten so far, as well as some other ideas and notions we test out on people, and people can put their actual thoughts up on the board as well as give them to the people that are there verbally. We're doing that same thing with, again, the business owners. We've had one meeting with business owners, and we have another one coming up soon that allows the business owners to actually have a dialogue with the planning group.
Yeah.
Same thing. This morning was the second one that we've had of those with property owners. So those three groups, again, have a lot of opportunity to have that dialogue.
Well, I like that you're doing that. I think it's important to make the community feel like they're being a part of it.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, this is their community. It's not our community. We just work for it.
Yeah, but so often it seems like we notice after something's already happened, like, well, I didn't know, or they didn't ask me, or I didn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's great that you are doing that. Okay. What other things are going on downtown Powell?
I mean, everybody's already seen that we have some new businesses, some new faces on town. Elliot's Woodfired is a great, regional, small family-owned chain, if you will, from Central Ohio. They have Newark, Pataskala, and New Albany. So we'll be their fourth restaurant.
And where's that going in?
That is going into the old Liberty Tavern space, the 50
what I thought.
South Liberty Building A. Fantastic group of individuals. I've met all of the owners, worked with them diligently to get them in that building. But I think they're going to take that space to the next level from day one. But then the future plans that we have to grow the restaurant in that space are even more exciting. So I'm truly excited about that. If people want to try their food now, I encourage them. My wife and I did. We went out to the New Albany restaurant and tried their food out, and it's amazing, good food, great
Elliot's
customer
Woodfired.
Service. Yeah, Elliot's Woodfired Kitchen, and then just next door, taking the old Buzzbowl Creamery space, is Johnson's Ice Cream No. 2, because we have one going in that opens here on March 6th.
Yeah, we're on Home Road.
On Home Road, the Middlebury Plaza. So Middlebury Crossing, and that's right next to Parlor Donuts. And if you haven't been to Parlor Donuts yet, I mean, be prepared to stand in line for one, because they're really busy.
Yeah.
But the
They're
donuts
good.
are the size of your head.
It's unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I was there for the grand opening. What a huge turnout.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. I'm amazed at all the high school students that they hire.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible.
It is.
Because everybody around, well, all of Central Ohio, they say high schoolers don't work. And I just saw 30 of them all in one place.
Exactly.
So.
I saw that too. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And so we've got that going on. We've got the Kroger's going on.
Yeah,
out
brand new
that
Kroger.
way.
Yeah.
Wendy's just opened over there.
Yeah.
the Ohio State Medical Facility.
Yeah, over 600 employees will be in that facility when it opens.
Hmm.
Yeah, that home road sawmill um, uh, corridors are really coming together there. So,
Yeah.
there's a lot of opportunity, still a lot of potential, still some open ground up there that can be really things that truly serve our community and its residents well. And we're trying to be very careful about that, very thoughtful in that approach because, we're pretty limited in the directions we can grow as a community. Powell's pretty landlocked. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what else should we know that you've been up to with Village of Powell, City of Powell now? Mm-hmm.
The City of Powell. I keep floating the idea of the Village of Powell being the name of Village Green. Though, wouldn't that be cool? Have a
It
little
is.
walkable village within the
Yeah.
city.
I
That'd be
do
so
like
much
that.
fun.
That would
I
be
don't know.
cool.
I've been in places that have that, and it's kind of neat. But
Mm-hmm.
because I always like that village
Yeah.
idea.
I
That
agree.
feel.
I
Yeah.
like that. What else we have going on? I know we've got just 2 doors down from me here, the Cohatch
Cohatch
project.
is yeah. You saw they're going vertical right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're installing the back wall, the elevator shaft, and the kit. As I understand it, the kit for the building is fully on its way. And one day you'll be driving to the office and it won't be there. The next day you'll drive to the office and it'll be standing there. So
Wow.
those kit buildings are pretty miraculous in how they're constructed. And,
Yeah, I'm anxious to get a front row look at that process.
oh yeah, it's going to be fun. I
Mm-hmm.
would be looking out my window every day at it if I were you. And but yeah, I mean they intend to be operational by early 2026 at that
Mm-hmm.
facility. Probably will not have the rooftop bar open at that time. I imagine that'll be spring of 2026.
Okay.
Obviously, you want to go up there and hang out on the roof anyways in the state of Ohio. It's
Yeah,
cold. I mean,
absolutely.
most of it's enclosed.
And I'm thinking
but
some
yeah.
live music would be a good
Well,
idea.
I think I know somebody that does that. I don't know.
What about the parking? I know there's some plans
Yeah.
for a road going behind there, I think, and some parking. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So we have our preliminary concept engineering done for the Scioto Street extension, which will take Scioto Street across Liberty all the way to Grace Drive over here
Mm-hmm.
to your east. That will open up a large area with the intention of putting a large scale public parking lot in that location. As I understand, that's really kind of been the plan since 2015, 2016, something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
been talked about for a long time.
It's been in multiple CIPs,
Mhm.
our public improvement budget. So now we're making it happen. Phase one will happen. It'll be constructed this year in 2025. So that'll be
Okay.
the first part of the road that gets you into the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then initially an L-shaped parking lot will happen to help serve the businesses that are currently here and going in, as we work with the property owner to help them determine if they can actually develop some of their property back there. If they do, we'll compensate for that and build out the rest of the parking lot around their buildings.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't, we'll turn the rest into a parking lot.
Yeah. Well, parking, I mean, as you know, that's kind of been a long time challenge for downtown Powell. So I'm glad that's being looked at. Are there any other projects like that that might include some additional parking for us?
Yeah, I mean, I think the intention is, for lack of a better term, really turn parking into a public utility here.
Mm-hmm.
As that when development happens here, when new stores and businesses, restaurants come in, that they don't have to worry about parking. That we can change our parking requirements to, take some of the onus away from those owners,
Mm-hmm.
and shift their resources to the things they should be worried about. We'll take care of the parking. So I think that's really the idea. So, I think part of the Village Green planning process, you'll
Mm-hmm.
probably see some parking for that northwest or southwest quadrant be planned out in that, 12
Mm-hmm.
acres, 13 acres there. We'll look at the other quadrants for the same. The northwest quadrant and the southeast quadrant, how can we establish parking there? We are working very diligently with private property owners to say, well, maybe there's times where you're not using your parking lot that we can turn it into a public parking lot, or can we turn it into a public parking lot all day long if we put some money into it and improve your parking lot? And we have several property owners that are starting to talk to us about that. The 110 South Liberty Street property, which is owned by Crawford Hoyne, the developer. They were the first to go in a private agreement, public-private partnership with us to open up those 26 spaces as public parking. So you can go park there today and have a short walk right into your favorite restaurant or retailer downtown. So
the potential, I think, is just huge, isn't it?
Oh, there's so much potential. You just have to do it very thoughtfully.
Yeah.
The only way that you can improve the opportunity for everyone is do things thoughtfully. So we do take a very thoughtful approach and include everybody's ideas and thoughts into that as we move forward.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Shan, is there anything else you would like people to know about what's going on and how you may be able to assist business owners?
No, I mean, really, it's about, what do you need? Tell me. I'm here. I have an open door policy. Text me, call me, email me, smoke signals, whatever. I'm here to serve all of our businesses, the residents, developers, property owners. Economic development's a team sport. And unless we're all doing it together, we can't succeed. And so far, all I see is the desire and willingness of all of those groups to want to work towards the betterment of Powell. And we're already seeing short-term success. We'll definitely see long-term success.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I'm going to switch things up and ask a couple personal questions if I might. Yeah, put you on the spot. So I love to read. What's something you've read here recently that you?
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember the author. I like science fiction. So Axiom's End was the name of the book. It's actually a trilogy, I believe. Again, I can't remember the author, but it's a great series about really first contact with extraterrestrials on Earth, which is a topic today, right? Everybody says that. Yeah, we've seen UFOs, and the government's holding them. But
that's true.
That's what this book is about. Is they're here, and some of them are here for good reasons. Some of them are here for bad reasons, and
gotcha.
It's a really interesting story.
Axiom's Edge. All right. End.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. And as you know, I'm a music guy. So what do you like to listen to?
I like hard rock and heavy metal primarily. I listen to everything though except for country music. I pretty much like everything: jazz, blues, some rap, old school rap. But I love heavy metal and hard rock. Van Halen is my favorite band of all time. If that tells you anything. So
great band. I agree.
I'm a car guy, so there's nothing better than cruising down the road on a nice summer night with the windows down and Van Halen blaring. So.
Well, I just learned that you're a car guy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I knew that you were a softball coach and into that quite a bit. So, yeah, you're a busy guy.
I like to keep my time filled. What'd your grandmother say? Idle hands. I don't have idle hands. I'm always busy.
There you go. All right. Well, Shan, I appreciate you speaking with me a little bit, and I'd like to do this again a little later in the year. Maybe we can do a follow up on some of the projects that are going on, and keep us apprised of what's been decided or what's being kicked around and. Yeah, I would appreciate
There'll be a lot of new information coming out throughout the rest of the year and going into next year. So
okay, and that Powell website again is
it's cityofpowell.us.
Cityofpowell.us. All right, got it. Shan, thanks for sitting down with me
Mark.
today. I appreciate it so much.
Appreciate you. Thanks for doing this.
My pleasure.